My message to the people of New Hampshire is simple. It's this. Because of this delegation, New Hampshire and America are moving again. Your life is going to change for the better, and that's literal. For example, the Pemmy Bridge here, I just walked across, opened in 1939, 82 years ago. This may not seem like a big bridge, but it saves lives and solves problems. Let me tell you why. Businesses depend on it, like the local propane company or the sand and gravel company or the logging trucks or the public services depend on it, school buses, wastewater trucks cross it every day. It's essential to Woodstock Fire Station, about a quarter of a mile away. Without this bridge, as I said earlier, it's a 10-mile detour just to get to the other side. And I know, having had a house burned down with my wife in it, she got out safely, God willing, but having a significant portion of it burned, I can tell 10 minutes makes a hell of a difference. It makes a big difference. Folks, every mile counts, every minute counts in an emergency. And folks, this is a bridge that has been structurally deficient for years. I'm preaching to the choir, I know. But the fact is, it used to be able to carry 40-ton trucks. Now the bridge is down to 20-ton restrictions. In a couple of weeks, it's going to be closed to put steel plates down over the weekend and for sections of this deck. That steel plate is basically like putting a Band-Aid on a major wound. This is going to make it bumpy for drivers, difficult for snow plows, and it's still dangerous for bikers. And when that's done, the bridge may need even more weight restrictions. The state has already spent $250,000 in Band-Aid repairs on this bridge alone. And right now, there are 215 bridges in your state, 215 bridges deemed structurally unsafe in New Hampshire alone. Many of them are less trafficked bridges. They're often overlooked when decisions are being made about where and how to invest and rebuild. But these bridges are essential in small towns, rural areas, farmers, and small businesses like in my state of Delaware. Not only you have about 700 miles of highway in New Hampshire that is listed in poor condition. Driving on these roads that need repair costs New Hampshire drivers an estimated extra $476 every year per person driving in gas and repairs and longer commute times. That's $476 in hidden tax on New Hampshire drivers as a result of the deteriorating infrastructure. But thanks to the infrastructure law, we're going to make the most significant investment to modernize our roads and our bridges in 70 years. The law is going to speed up replacement of bridges by at least a year and allow New Hampshire to invest in other critical infrastructure needs. Thanks to the congressional delegation, this law also represents the most significant investment in passenger rail in 50 years in public transit ever. Here in New Hampshire, that means replacing about 1/3 of the transit vehicles, buses and the like, that are past their useful life. And what it means, you'll be safer, you'll get to where you're going faster, and you'll save money. And this means jobs for folks making these upgrades. It's estimated it'll create up to 2 million jobs extra a year and up to 16 million jobs nationwide. Good paying jobs, union jobs, jobs you can raise a family on, jobs that can't be outsourced. And that's not all. The bipartisan bill is going to mobilize our ports and our airports and freight rail to make it easier for companies to get goods to market, reduce supply chain bottlenecks we're experiencing now. I just had to convince the ports of Long Beach and Los Angeles, where 40% of all products come into the Western United States, to stay open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, because they're backing up ships and container vessels for miles and miles and miles, hundreds of them. And that's the reason why you don't have things on the shelves. Why? Because people are dying of COVID in the eastern part of the Pacific, or the western part of the Pacific, making the products that we're in fact buying here in the United States of America, or the products that go into the products we buy. Folks, we're going to lower costs for you and your families. This congressional delegation, we're going to start by replacing 100% of the lead water pipes and service lines in the United States and address PFAS as a dangerous forever chemical that is a threat to drinking water here in New Hampshire. Every American, every child should be able to turn on the faucet and drink clean water, which will also create thousands of good paying jobs for plumbers and pipe fitters replacing these pipes. You know, In every meeting about this law, this delegation made it clear that high-speed internet is essential as clean water and electricity. I don't know how many times you all told me that, but I think I already knew it, but you didn't let me forget it. And now, not just in New Hampshire for New Hampshire families, but New Hampshire businesses as well. Today, 1 in every 10 New Hampshire households doesn't have internet subscriptions. And in a lot of places, there's no broadband infrastructure at all. And the law is going to make high-speed internet affordable and available everywhere in New Hampshire, urban, suburban, rural. It's going to create jobs laying down those broadband lines. In the 21st century America, no parent should ever have to sit in a parking lot of a fast food restaurant to connect to the internet so their kids can do their homework or they can get their job assignment. Really, think about it.